I just come out for a little drive. Actually, gonna go check on the pond, and I thought I'd stop and show a few of you guys some of these here rocks. This is these are the rocks that these were all actually moved here. They claim now. I mean, I've never found it. They said it's somewhere here on the property, but I mean, I've been clearing here for years and I haven't found it. But this was a farm all at one time, of course, when they settled here. And you can see these holes in the rocks where they actually drilled holes in the rocks. Of course, you know, back then would have been with chisels and those feather wedges. And they drove little pegs into the rocks. Then they had a four-wheeled, like a wagon affair they pulled with the horses, and they'd pull over top of the rock, dig all around the rock, and then they would have hand winch. They had this hand crane on this wagon. And that's how these rocks all ended up here. So you can see them all got holes in them. You imagine going out every day having to clear ground that way? So there's these rock piles all over the property. These are the rocks they were able to move, and I mean, the bigger ones, I mean, I've been at them with the dozer. I've had excavators here. Just kind of interesting, you think about it, you know, how much work that'd be. You know, basically that's all they did then was clear ground, and yeah, they're everywhere. All through there, they'd line up, and yeah, I mean, that's a big job. I mean, some of these ones here aren't too bad, man. That's a good sized rock there. But you wouldn't believe some of the rocks they were able to move. And of course, they dynamited a lot of them, split them. There's in here, poor guy. Look at the holes he had in this one. He had 3 in that side. It would be interesting, that's for sure. Go every day. Look at the holes. Okay? Every day and pound holes in these rocks. You can lift them out. Everywhere. I see rocky ground, all granite too. Yeah. Hard rock. Yeah. This is just what they got. I mean, I got rock walls here that are, you know, 12 foot across deep. We'll take you up and I'll show you some of those. Yeah, this is just another kind of look at them. And you can see, of course, these big ones here I put up on top of there. But the amount of rocks these poor guys had to move when they cleared these ground, you know, it's crazy. I mean, it's just miles and miles of rocks. So that's what I'm in the process here now of doing, is trying to move these rocks. I've had, you know, different quotes on it. I guess they got it figured out to, the government said it's about $28 a foot. You know, there's a lot of feet in one of these rock walls. So that's basically what the quote is for moving rocks. So that's what I'm doing. I got a few of these walls I like to move. Burying, you know, is okay. Not ideal. So I'm not really looking at that. Most of these here will be, I'll load them in the dump truck and make roads out of them. That's what my intentions are. So I'm lucky here they haven't been buried because the ground's quite dry. A lot of farms around here, they've been buried for drainage. So I haven't, these are sitting just on top of the ground here. So, yeah, lots of them. Lots of rocks. So, she's a rock pile. And believe me, I'm not bragging about it. I'm complaining. I just envy the people. I see some of these open fields and I think, wow. Can you imagine being able to drop a plow in that ground and actually go home with it? But yeah, these is here, like these are ones I put up on there. But a lot of them, you'd be surprised some of the ones that they actually were able to move up on. So, kind of neat. There, you can see this one here is a nice one. This here runs, it's a long ways. Runs 3/4 of the way across my whole property, this rock wall. So this one here is like, oh, it's 5 or 6 feet high. And there's a lot of rock here. A lot. Now, like these ones here, they put up here. No one really farmed here. Thinking it was like 60s, probably 50s when they stopped farming. And then everything grew back into woods. And then, of course, I was foolish enough to buy it and start clearing it again. So this is all the fields here, I've said before, I've cleared. So I'm in the process now. I'd like to move these rock walls and make the fields bigger, so you can actually go when you're cutting hay, you can actually go cut hay. You know, you get playing around in these just couple acre fields, it's such a nuisance. So yeah, so a lot of this I'll do, of course, with a payloader. Is the easiest bet. It's really actually pretty slick with a big payloader, and then bucket it and load in the truck. You know, some will some would be, so that there's, well, that's 4.5 feet high there. Yeah, it's there's lots of rocks, and I know all kinds of guys around, they got rocks too. We all got them. That's just part of where we live. I'd like to share some. Guys interested in rocks, they can message me and maybe we can set something up. I'll even load them for you. Now this here is just another area, same idea. These are rocks they all put here. I just disturbed it. I mean, I come through here with the dozer and put a road through here. And just kind of all, they were pretty smart how they placed them too. Like they'd have, you know, just kind of wasted ground or ground that was really rocky, they couldn't do anything with. So then they would go ahead and make all these rock piles everywhere. So you see the holes in them. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. I remember when I come here, I didn't, like, what the hell? I mean, you knew how the holes got in the rocks, but I mean, think of why. And I mean, these are big rocks for to pick up with a horse, or their hand crane and carry away with a horse. But anyway, I had an old fella out the road. He said that, of course, they used to grow potatoes here years ago. It used to be an old potato farm. I guess potatoes like rocks. Warms the ground up, I guess. But so even here, they started a rock wall and then realized how rocky it really was. So then they just said heck with it and started filling in with rocks, big rocks all around it. I mean, they had no way of pushing them up or anything, right? Yeah, it's kind of interesting. Now this here farm, there was a farm, the same family across the road. You just call this all, can't remember now what they called it, but anyways, and they had, they said in like the 60s, there was a Cockshut 40, had a 6-cylinder, I believe they said it was a Buda engine in it, but they said it was quite a nice sounding tractor. And then this farm, they had a Fordson Major back in, you know, 50s, 60s. Well, that time they really weren't farming too much. Most of them here worked on the railroad. Oh, and then she just kind of grew up. But yeah, she's rocky, rock piles everywhere. So really, there's 4 big rock piles like this area. So they just kind of keep carrying the rocks all to an area. And it's kind of neat how all of a sudden you'll stumble across like a small rock wall they started, and then they said, well, the hell with this, and too many rocks here. They moved over another, you know, 50 feet or whatever, and just kind of kept bringing in rocks in these areas. So, yeah, well, that's my rant on rocks. Hey, I know there's lots of them out there. If everybody has them, well, in this area they do. And the government comes here, they're like, holy geez, you know, what are you even doing here? But, you know, whatever. Just used to it. Not my, then people wonder why I got so many rock pickers. Well, that just picks the small ones up, and you need gear for all the big ones. But it's challenging for sure. But anyways, we'll talk at you later.